Hi everyone, welcome to Megan Sullivan Art. I am here to run you through my latest journal, which is the design team project for Lavender Blu Shop on Etsy and Lavender Blu BLU Art on YouTube and also Facebook and different things. But I'll put all the social media links for Fiona's shops and websites and things down below. So I've used her printable patchwork fabric papers, and you get 16 A4 pages that print out, which are scans of a quilt, basically, or patchworked paper, patchwork fabrics. So what I did was, there was no ephemera, so what I've done is I've actually cut down some of the pages to make ephemera for the journal, and also taken some book pages from a book on patchwork. There's several vintage book pages from a couple of kids sewing books, so I've taken out the elements of quilting and patchworking in those. And then there's also a couple of pages from like a home sewing manual, so there's some of the tools that you'll need for sewing, and a couple of glossary type pages as well. So that's basically the images that are in here. I have got a lot of rich fabric dyed paper, tracing paper. There's also avocado dyed paper in here, and I've used that to have pages in the book, and there's also backing for some of the ephemera and journal pages. The cover is made from a cereal box, and it's been covered with some patchwork that I got secondhand. So I've done that. So that is the cover, front and back. So it's two different pieces that I've joined at the spine, basically. It's been sewn in with a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, and we've got 3 signatures and 182 pages. And I've just used this doily to stick over the front to cover over the stitching. And I have done like a crazy stitch all the way around the cover. We've got 2 pieces from the kit here, which I've just cut into rough circles, with a piece of avocado dyed paper there, a doily and a little scissor charm there, which is glued on. And we've got the brass, antique brass book corners. Yeah, that's it. Let's jump in, basically. So it is quite chunky. So we've got, that's the top of the journal, showing you there. Maybe turn it that way. Fabric tabs and bits and bobs. That's the same for the side there. So it's got quite a lot of, you know, room to bulk it up. And I haven't put a closure on it, but it does actually sit quite flat as it does at the moment. So on the inside, I've just used some black check fabric, which I had from another quilt, another patchworked piece that I had. This is one of the library pockets out of one of the actual vintage books, and this was a dole out of one of the patchwork kits, patchwork books that I've just cut out. So you could, stick that on the page somewhere if you like, or do whatever, but she fits neatly into that little library pocket there. This is a scrapbook paper, so that lines the front and back covers. This is a pocket, so this is an image from the patchwork book. And we'll run through those other pieces as well. So that's backed onto pink Rit dyed lined paper, but that's a pocket, that one. Okay, so this is the journal kit page, which I have sewn some lined paper to. This is one of the books on patchwork, and we've got some fabric ruffle. So it's really vintage, bright kind of pages, and I actually really like it. Some Rit dyed lined paper. This is from the digital kit, as is this. So these were pages that I had cut down. So that's backed onto blue Rit dyed paper. This is from the patchwork book, and it was a square book. So that's one of the pieces there, which has got quite a lot of writing space on the back. And what I've done with the book pages, the bigger book pages, is where there's been a lot of text, I've actually sewn on blank paper of different colours. So it gives you more journaling space. So I've pre-done that in a lot of cases. This is one of the vintage book pages, the kids' ones. This is the home sewing book. So this is part of the glossary, I think, and some of the tools for sewing. And this is where I've actually sewn over some of the text. So you've got the colours for inspiration, and then you've got writing space. And then you've got the sewing on the reverse of that one. Some red Rit dyed paper, it's scarlet is the colour. This is a digital kit page. And what I've done here is sewn some avocado dyed paper, some paper and a strip of patchwork fabric to create a pocket. This is from the patchwork book onto the scarlet Rit dyed paper. This is from the digital kit, avocado dyed paper. But they are full pages. There's no actual ephemera, so I've created them myself. This was one of the end papers from one of the sewing books, and I've used that and stitched that down over some of the text of the book page. Green RIT dyed paper with a fabric tab, and this is some rust off the bottom of the oven pan. Again, paper over some of the text. More writing space. Fabric tab. Bit more writing space again. That might have come from where the library card was. I can't quite remember. Really gorgeous bright colours. Digital kit again. And on the other side of that is the avocado dyed paper, which forms the pocket. This is from the Patchwork book with the avocado dyed paper as the back. And I have left all the strings. Not overly long, but actually I've never done that before until I did my Halloween journal, and I actually really quite like it. So that might be something I do in some sewing themed journals. This is both the Patchwork kit. That was an image from one of the pages, which is gorgeous, onto RIT in denim blue, I think it is, lined paper. It's a tuck spot there. Centre of the signature. And again, we've got a pocket on the other side. This is another page from the Patchwork booklet. Lots of writing space. And this is one of the pages from the digital kit with a patchwork paper background. Still lots of space for journaling there. Avocado dyed with a fabric ruffle kit page. Sewn paper for writing. A little bit more here. Avocado with a ruffle. Writing space. Fabric tab up there. It's reinforced with paper. You'll see the avocado dyed paper. Another book page, and what I've done here is this is part of one of the pages of the digital kit, which I've just sewn on some avocado dyed paper just to create a journaling space. Just paper clip that over the edge of the page there. Another pocket here, which I haven't put anything in, but I can rectify that problem. Let's do that right now. Let's put that one in. So that's, again, a page of the kit with a paper patchwork background. Book page with a paper, so writing space. Tools of the trade, essential tools for sewing. Quilted oven glove, so this is from the kids book. Purse with giant sunflowers. Line paper. Line paper onto the back of the digital kit. More of the digital kit. Blue lined paper. Bit of writing space. Love this teal, it is RIT dye. This is a patchwork bag page from the kids book. Another piece of the kit, which a page of the kit that I've just cut down, I've glued a doily on there, a little micro doily. This is part of the digital kit onto the scarlet paper. This is from the Patchwork booklet or book onto green tracing paper, dyed tracing paper. Bit of writing space. Another kit page. These papers, the dyed papers, I got secondhand, and I think they're American size, so they're actually the same width as an A4 piece of paper, or same height, but when you put them this way, they're actually about 2 centimetres shorter. So I've just folded over the edges of that kit page just to cover up the gap and sewn down some fabric there. Another book page. This is another piece of the kit which I've just sewn down over some of the writing. Bit of fabric. This is another part of the kit which I've lined with the green dyed paper this time, which is only quite pale. But if you do use RIT dyes for paper, you can actually make them a lot stronger and more vibrant. Ruffles. This is another kit page. And what I've done here is where this page is shorter, I've sewn on some avocado dyed paper. American Patchwork quilts. We have a flip here, so we've got green cardstock, green tracing paper as a flip, and some writing space here. That's all sewn down, a bit more writing space. A fabric flip here with 2 pieces of pink fuchsia dyed rip paper, which is lined. Red page. Just love the bright colours. Real 70s kind of era, I think they were. A belly band here. Glued and sewn, so you can put something in there. The other end of that red paper, that's the digital kit. Green paper with pink paper and fabric. Writing space. This came from the area where the library card was. The library pocket, sorry, at the front of the book. Tools of the trade, essential tools. This one. Different things there. Another one of the kids' book pages. So bright and funky. This is doing a bag, I think, of some description. More writing space. Kit. And you can really do a lot with this digital kit. This is a textured paper, so I'm not sure if you can see, but it's actually got squares embossed on it. Hopefully that's picked up in the light. Yes, there's a lot you can do. You can make all sorts of different ephemera based on the shapes that the quilt has. Some tangerine rip dyed lined paper. Another pocket from part of a page with a doily stuck down there. This was the front image, the first image on the end paper of the sewing book that's got the different techniques and tools of the trade in it. I thought that was really nice. And then I've just done a fabric quilted piece for the back there. This is part from the kit onto blue lined paper. Kids book page, so cute. Big space for writing. This is all aged. This is from one of the sewing books as well. So there's a lot of writing space, and you can even still write around all these areas on the actual kit pages too. Fabric ruffle, one of the vintage book pages. This is from the quilting book, this piece. Nice bright colours, and I've done a big quilted paper piece for the back of that. So lots of sections to write on there. So bright and vibrant. Oops. And, you know, you can move these about and put them wherever you like, or take them out and use them in other journals you're using. Writing space. When I ironed these papers, you can see some of the iron marks on there, which I actually quite like. You can see some of the iron marks. Because I ironed them when they were a little bit damp still, so it created a bit of a steam effect. Digital kit page. Pocket from the kit, well, from the kit that I've made. A journal card onto red. This is from the Patchwork book, so bright and vibrant, onto the green rip dyed paper. Those in there. Digital kit again with pink paper, and this effect comes from microwaving the paper while it's damp. You get that steam kind of bubble effect, which this is just how I dry all my papers, because I don't have space to have them laying around for days to dry. Designing with hexagons, patchwork cushions, little quilted mats, coasters, digital kit page, lots of writing space, silk patchwork cushions, tools of the trade again, beautiful kids page, nice and bright, little hat, green and tangerine, tools, sewing, paper, how to find fabrics, more of that square embossed paper. The back of the journal, so the final page, as I said, this pocket has come from the Patchwork book that I have, as has this one. This was one of the images in the Patchwork book. And on the inside, it's got lavender bags there. And what I've done is just sewn on a range of different paper scraps, which you could take off for collaging, or you can actually write on them all. And then you've got a bit of extra writing space down there. So that I've just tucked into the very back pocket there. The only thing I need to do is put my little label here to indicate that I've made the book. And it's all done. So 186 pages of Lush Sewing Beauty. So it will actually be available. I will put it up on my Etsy shop, and if it hasn't sold by mid-October, then it will be in a box off to America for sale through Nevermore Creations 17's marketplace. So if you're interested, snap it up and let me know. Thanks. Bye.